Friends. Hey, I hope you guys are out there. We're going to give you a minute to find us. My wonderful hubby, who is so good and diligent about supporting everything in our little store, forgot to put the link up for today's class. So, yeah, we're running just a little behind. We're going to give you a chance to sign in. If when you can get me chat, Margie, that would be awesome. But
You don't have anybody linked in yet.
Mary should be here momentarily. We'll just hang out here for a minute and let people find us.
Betty
There we
found
go.
us.
Okay, good.
So
Alrighty. Good. Yeah, I'm just going to hang out a minute. And while we do that, for the sake of those who are watching this later, I'm going to show you what we're going to make. This is one of our cards for today. We're working on the Christmas Sparkle from the Winter Wonderland kit. We're going to make this. And we're going to make this.
it's working.
And we're going to make this. And we're going to make this card.
Ooh.
So we're going to have great fun together today.
Hi to Betty, Brenda, and Mary R.
Hi, Betty, Brenda, and Mary R. I know that Marilyn Mass should be out there. And yes, we will be up and rolling here momentarily. I didn't realize till we sat down to do class today that we didn't have a link, so we had a little extra to do, and I appreciate you guys looking for us and finding us. Thank you for that. And in just a minute here, we will be set and ready to go. In the meantime, let's see. I guess I can just hold things up and we'll keep going. I'll show you our class kit. There we go. All right. Today we're working in the Christmas Sparkle from Winter Wonderland. Oh, I have a camera in my view.
Yep, I don't quite have you on yet. There you go.
Okay.
And now we can move this one back down.
Okay, there we go. All right, and I'll move to you. There we go. I will get my speaker maybe out of the way a little bit. All right, I think we're ready to go. Let's go ahead and go on my hands. And if we can get me chat comments, we will be set and ready to go. Oh, there you are. Yay! Okay, I will show you the cards again because it looks like you couldn't see them. So let's do that part again. Thank you guys for your patience. Here we go. This will be a much easier way to see them. Here's one of our cards for today. Hello, Annette. Hi, Glenn. Okay, Mary R. and Annette and Brenda and Mary and I think Merlin Mass is out there. She doesn't chat with us usually. She just works along. And so we're making this beauty. And we are making this one. Didn't these turn out pretty? I just love the stickles on these. It just really makes these cards. The scenes are beautiful. There's a couple of these cards that are pretty similar, but I love the way that they just, I really like the way they fit this card. And so I made two of them. Okay, yes. Well, hubby is, you guys know that Bryce just works his socks off for our little store here. And this is his busy time. He's in human resources, and he's a human resource manager for a company with locations in 3 states. And he is in the midst of setting up their open enrollment for benefits that start here on the 1st of November. So he is running double time there. And, it's just really, really, really a difficult time for him. So he forgot to set up our link. Can you
I'm
know?
going to set the rest up for the rest of the month.
He just
Not a
forgot.
problem.
He just forgot.
And it
And
won't
then
be
that
something
meant
else
you
to
guys
worry
couldn't
about.
find us. So I appreciate you guys seeking us out and finding us. Yes, Susan is in the house. Hi, Betty Gozzle. Good to see you. Okay, we'll tell him he's forgiven. Let's take a look at our class kit. Margie saved the day. She figured out how to do her job and Bryce's part too, and she just whipped in and fixed it, and we are ready to roll.
Okay.
In the classroom here, we got Margie, we've got Brittany, and we've got Susan, and me.
And I think that it was Glenn that said hello, Susan.
Hello, everybody. Hi.
Okay, here's our card. Oops, upside down cardstock. Here's our cardstock. You know what that's going to be. Anytime you see these double borders, you know that I'm likely to think that needs to be a gatefold card. And it is. Today it's a gatefold card. There are people saying, hi, Miss Britt. And here is our topper sheet. Beautiful thing. And here is our absolutely stunning foiled cardstock. Isn't that a beautiful one? Oh my gosh. I love this one. Look at that with those foiled stars. So pretty. And then we've got foam squares, of course. We've got a 6x6 gatefold card. We don't have to make our own today. Here it is. And I'm going to set aside my envelopes, as I often do. We've got 3 European A6 card lengths here, and envelopes for those, of course. You've got 3 pieces of European A6 Miri, and you've got a packet with ribbons. That's what we have in today's class kit. Let's get rolling, shall we? Thank you guys for... Oh, Mary R. says, Susan, please be kind to my Teddy. He's my baby.
Oh,
Teddy loves Susan too. And I know if you were here, Mary R., he'd be all over your face too. Susan can't walk in here without Teddy thinking he needs to jump on her and wash her face because he loves her. And he would love you too. I'm certain of it. It's like he knows dog people and he has the need to love them. Okay, let's figure out where we're going to start. I don't think we'll start on our gatefold. That's one of our more involved cards. Let's start with one of our easy ones, shall we? Let's do one of these corners. Okay, we are going to start by making this card here. Let's look at, you guys have asked to see how they lay out. Let's look at those. We've got our 2 pieces of cardstock here. That just really seems to be a nice way to get the ball rolling with these classes. This one is, of course, going to be the 2 borders. And this one, this will be the 2 borders, and then I actually took this one out of the middle. So you are going to have 2 pieces of cardstock left here, this pretty snowy background, that you can actually make other cards in your set from. Okay. So this is what you're going to have. You'll have 2 cards on this one. You'll have 2 cards out of this piece of cardstock, and we're going to use up all those little toppers along the way. So there we go. Let's start with this one. We're going to start with this card right here with the little round topper. So let's get our bow material out. Does anybody have, hi Samantha. Does anybody have your kit, and is anyone working along today? I know that Susan does. Yeah. Susan has hers. They mysteriously appear at her workspace here. It's the most amazing thing. Here, you can use this one for making your bow, and then those 2 come apart with a little clip at the bottom.
I saw last night.
Yeah, so you could just take the little clip off the bottom. I know it's easier said than done, but you can try that out and see if you want one of those.
I didn't quite understand how you got it fluffy.
You only need one or the other.
Yeah, but you said you made it fluffy.
Made it fluffy? I
like
don't know.
The petals standing out.
Okay, here we go. This is what we're going to do. Use your comb, and we are going to make, I'm going to make this bow just a little bit bigger than I did last time. You have a full yard of crepe ribbon here. So we're going to, you don't need a real long tail because this is going to be one where we clip the ends. So you need probably 3 or 4 inches sticking out. I'm going to turn my comb over so I can see the numbers.
Has it got numbers?
It does have numbers at the top, right on the end of the tine. And
Oh,
we're going
I
to
see.
start by wrapping our thread over the number 4 tine. We'll come back underneath it. So we're only wrapping around just that one tooth. See that?
Oh, okay. You can...
We're only going to wrap around that one tooth. This is different than we used to do it, Susan.
Yeah.
We're going to come over here to number 4 on the other side, and we're going to wrap around that one tooth. I discovered a better way.
Number 4?
Mm-hmm. Back to number 4. Now we're going to go to number 5, and we're going to wrap just around that one tooth. Come to number 5, and wrap just around that one tooth.
Oh, come on, Susan.
Then come back to number 4.
Oh.
It's going to be 4 on both sides, 5 on both sides, 4 on both sides. When you have that wrapped, where you're going just around one tooth, and it will look like this from the back. See that? It's going to look like that on the back if you got it right.
Nearly.
Yes. Then you're going to go down through the hole.
Like the bunny rabbit does.
Yep. And come back up the other side. We're going to pull it through at 0, 0.
Sorry.
And we're going to tie this off in just a half knot. This crepe ribbon doesn't require anything more. I usually only use a half knot. I hardly ever use anything else. I almost always use a half knot. But this crepe ribbon will grab so well that you don't have to worry about this coming untied. And when you pull it off your comb, you're going to have this lovely, fluffy, pretty bow.
I like fluffy.
Because we were prepping for something that I needed Brittany to run down and get for me for the next class kit. Say hello to Kathy Girl.
Hi, Kathy
Roberta,
Girl.
And Anita.
Hi, Roberta. Hi, Anita. Welcome. Where do you get that comb? You get that comb from simplyspecialcrafts.com. That's us. And we can get you all set up with one of those combs. And I will be happy to do it. Maybe if Margie is okay with that, she can link that for you.
Yeah.
This comb, let me just tell you right up front, Anita, that this comb is ridiculously expensive for what it is, but it will be one of your favorite tools in your arsenal. You can only get them, they have the worldwide patent on it. You can only get them from one company, Tattered Lace, and they don't always have them. So when they do have them, I buy up everything I can get my hands on, and they can get away with charging. Our combs now are red. Can you hand me the red one so I can show what it will actually look like? Our combs now are red. This is an old style of the same thing. This is what they look like now. And it is the most spectacular tool in your tool cabinet. You will love it, but it's like $25 for a piece of plastic. And I'd be the first to say that's ridiculous. But they get to charge whatever they want to because they have a worldwide patent on this really neat tool. And I think anybody here will tell you it's worth it. And
We're so fluffy.
so anyway, yeah. I always like to say that to somebody who's new to the embellishment addict bow maker, because it gives you sticker shock when you see how much they want for a piece of plastic. It's not me. That's what they cost me. I'll even tell you, they cost me over $13 when I buy these without the magazine, they cost me over $13 to get them to the United States. And that's that's actually without shipping. My cost is over $13, and then I have to ship them here. So
I just pasted the red bow maker, but I'm also gonna paste the other one.
oh yeah, the
with
little blueberry.
Little blueberry.
Yeah.
You get 2 cones for the price. Same thing.
Yeah, true. One small one, one bigger one. Okay. While we've been talking here, I put down 3 strips of my wonderful finger lift tape so that I can attach my mirror board. I'm going to take one of these A6 mirrors. I'm going to set it on top of that tape. I'm going to rub it down good. And now, in order to cover my card, I'm just going to flip this over and I'm going to trim around it. None of this measuring, pre-measuring, and then trying to fit it to the card for me. We put it down with tape and then we trim around it. It is the easiest way to cover a card. There we go. All right, next up, we're going to need to trim our cardstock. Oops, you know what I did not do? I'm going to go ahead and get my glue working.
Yeah, I want some of that.
On this. You have some in your stand, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, but I want to buy some.
Oh,
It's on
okay.
your list, right?
Pardon? It's on my list under your computer.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to put a little bit of this best glue ever here. If you're not familiar with the bow maker, you may not be familiar with the best glue ever. Best glue ever is not the best glue ever for every purpose, but it is absolutely the best glue ever for gluing fabric things or things that have a lot of particles. When it goes on white. You might not be able to see it because this ribbon's so very shiny, but it goes on white. And when it dry, and you'll see that I just put little thin lines. There's my camera. There's my camera. I only put little thin lines of that glue on here because that's all it's going to take to hold. This is going to dry into a glue dot. And so I'm not going to use this until it dries, which seems counterintuitive. It seems like if you put glue on something, you should put it down while it's wet. Don't do that. You want to wait until it's completely clear when it's dry. That's why we're making it in advance. We're going to set that aside. I only put little thin lines. I put quite a few little thin lines instead of one big glob, both because I don't want it soaking through my ribbon and because it takes a very long time to dry and it will dry much faster if you have these tiny little lines. So that's why I do that. So there we go. There's a Debbie word, Mary said, counterintuitive. I didn't ever realize how many Debbie words I had until I went back and was trying to do the prizes for the party. And there were so many that you guys fired off that were dead on right that I say all the time. And I didn't realize how often I say them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut my cardstock now. And it doesn't matter what, these are the same way, both directions. So I'm going to cut myself a piece of cardstock here. Now, my card I'm using is a European A6, which means that it's 4 1/8 inches by 5 7/8 inches. I've already covered it with my mirror board. So in order to leave a nice border all the way around my mirror, I'm going to... Couldn't see the cards. The phone or the camera was in the way. Hi, Louis. I will fix that for you. I will show you again, okay? I will absolutely do that. Okay, so I'm going to cut my cardstock to where it is 3 7/8 inch. And I know that I'm going to use these pieces of card I'm cutting in the same size. So I'm going to go ahead and slice all the way down my cardstock because I know I don't need a bigger piece at this end for anything. And I'm going to cut this at 3 7/8 by 5 5/8 inches. And I might just as well do the other one while I have it here. I'm going to cut this to 3 7/8 by 5 5/8. Then I'm going to set this one aside because I'm not going to use this one right now, but this is going to make a great base for another card. So I'm just going to set this aside for use on a different day. And I have this beautiful piece of cardstock ready to go. And since we have our cardstock right in front of us, let's go ahead and trim our other one while we're doing it too. We're going to cut it to 3 7/8 by 5 5/8 inches. And I'll have my other face for my second card. And I'm going to go ahead and trim this one down while I'm here, because why not? I've got everything ready to go to do it. And here's my second card base I'm going to have for a different day. These are really nice, versatile faces because they are, just snowfall. Boy, can you use those at Christmas time, right? All right. So let me show you the cards again that we're making today, because Lewis said that there was a hard time seeing them. Here's the first one we're going to make. This is the one we're working on now. We've made the bow for it. We've covered our card with silver mirror board. And we have made our bow. So we're just about ready to assemble this one. And then we have a second card that's this archway. We'll be making a bow for this one momentarily. Then we have a third card that's just made out of a different background. And it's very similar to the last archway we did. It's just a little further away seen. And finally, the card we're going to make today is this beautiful gatefold card. And we're going to use the layers of the frame to create this wonderful closure on this card. So this is the fourth card we're going to make tonight. Okay? All right, so hopefully that got you up to date. Let's go ahead and I'm going to put this one aside, this extra piece aside for our next card. And I'm going to go ahead and attach this one. Find out where your fold is. I used the foiled mirror on the bottom. It doesn't really matter which way it goes on here. It's just a matter of your personal taste. I'm going to use some tape flags to put this down on my card and make sure that I get it straight. So I'm going to go ahead and put down some of my finger lift tape. If you've never tried finger lift, it's fabulous. I prefer this to any tape runner, and I've tried most of them. And I consistently have problems with pressing too hard on tape runners and jamming them. And then I take it apart and I try and use all the little tape out of the roll because I'm a crafter and I don't like to waste things, just like you are. And so I end up having to use that little sticky roll of tape and try and make it work. Then I discovered finger lift tape. I can put it on without a dispenser. You get hundreds and hundreds of feet on one of these rolls. It's very cost effective and there's zero waste. I have the little tape pieces I pull off, but other than that, the paper pieces, it's a paper tape. I could just tear it, and then I could do all kinds of fun little techniques with this. Oh, Anita, you're going to love this stuff. Tell her about finger lift tape, guys. Anybody else who feels like I do about finger lift tape, maybe you can share that news with Anita.
I do.
Okay, so once I have, you saw that what I did here is I put one row of tape on each side of my card like that. And I pulled the top of the tape out into some little, what I call flags, okay? So now I am going to position this on the card the way I like it. You know how tough it can be to get things positioned just right and how disappointing it can be when it goes down wrong. And then how so often, Anita, it tears up when you're trying to take it off. This doesn't happen if you use tape flags, because what I'm going to do here is I position this right where I want it. I've got a little bit of tape exposed at the end, so I can let that tape help me hold it when I get it right where I want it. Then I'll put my hand down firmly on it. I'll grab the end of that little flag and I'll pull it out, and I'll have a perfectly centered card because I used my tape flags to get it there. Isn't that neat? Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's how you do that in order to help your students get those things centered right. It's called finger lift tape. It's very affordable. If you're teaching classes, I actually have a discount on multi-roll purchases of that. But look at that. Isn't that just cool? All right, next up, let's punch out a piece from our, where is my card faces? Oh, under my trimmer. I keep them under my trimmer. At least that time I did. Okay, we're going to take this one from the lower left. Okay, punch that out. And this is a multi-part frame, so just want to add some dimension using this one. So I'm going to take this outer face off. Then I'm going to take this silver center ring, and I'm going to carefully take that one off. And then I'm left with my center ring. I'm going to decide where I want this outer ring to be. I'm going to grab some of my foam squares. And I'm just going to run a few of my little foam squares around underneath this ring, just to give it a little added dimension. It'll make it prettier and more visually appealing, interesting looking. And we'll stick a few little squares around on here. Some of these rings are fairly narrow, so I like to put a fair number of these foam squares under it so they don't kind of get saggy because they're little thin rings. So I'm going to go ahead and pop the tape backers off of these. And then we will get going. Hi, Merlin. I'm glad you could find us. Sorry for the inconvenience of not having a link up there for you, but we'll forgive him because he's a real trooper helping us out with all our store stuff in a time when life is so crazy for him. So, okay, next I'm going to get my little needle nose glue bottle. I have a whole regimen of tools I use for my cards that are just kind of my favorites that I've accumulated over the years, and I make all those available to you in our store. This is my little needle nose glue bottle. I sell these for $2 in our store. They're the niftiest little things. If you want to sign up for a newsletter, Anita, I can link you on some of these tools that I'm using so that you can find everything. Or Margie can probably link it for you if you'd like to.
I will. If you can answer for me, how much do I need to cut for a triple bow for kits?
In 3/8 you need 2 feet.
2 feet.
I forgot the wipes.
Did you guess right, Brittany? Yes. Excuse me?
Wipes.
The wipes.
For the glue.
Margie's got them for you.
Thank you, Margie. Sorry.
Marjorie? I've tried going by that for years. It is my legal name. Everybody likes nicknames, though.
Yeah, I stopped being a Sue a long while ago.
Okay. All right. So I'm putting a few foam squares on the back of my center topper, and I'm just going to put it right in between there. So I've put my outer ring up on some foam squares. I glued my center ring down flush, and I put my topper right in the middle just to create a little bit of additional interest. Next, we're going to get our From Our Family to Yours It's the sentiment topper right below the ring that we just took out off of our sheet. And we're going to put some foam squares on this. We're going to drop this down just a little bit to allow us room to put that bow in right under our image. I'm going to put about 4 foam squares on this. Just doesn't have to be 4, it can be 5, it can be 7, it can be 3. It doesn't matter, whatever your choice is. I'm using 5 because again, it's kind of a narrow piece. All right. Okay. All right, here we go. I'm going to put this one right down here. I'm coming up about a ½ an inch from the bottom of my card in total, from the very bottom of my card. And now I have this. So let's pick up our bow and see if it's dry. It pretty much is. I see one tiny spot that it's still a little bit white, but I think it'll be okay. We're going to, you really do want this bow to be dry before you put it on though, because it will be fabulous adhesive if it's dry and not so fabulous if it's not. The only complaint I've ever had about the best glue ever not working came from a lady, and I said, "Are you waiting for it to get clear and dry before you use it?" She said, "No." I said, "Okay, let's rethink that. Let's let it dry." And there we go. And that bow isn't coming off, guys. It's not going to fall off. It's just like all those little lines we drew just became glue dots. And isn't it pretty? Simple, easy. There you go.
And I missed it. It's different than if you just put dots on. I don't know if I caught that or not because it fuses into the fabric, right?
That is true. It's different than just using pre-formatted glue dots because since it goes on as a liquid, it sinks into the fabric. And that's usually where you have your problem when you use glue dots, if you use glue dots, is that sometimes glue dots will let go of the fabric. They'll hold on to the card forever, but they let go of the fabric because all the little fibrous pieces. But when you put your glue right on this, when it's wet, it becomes part of the fabric and then it stays forever. Okay, we need to put some stickles on this, but let's do that at the end, because then you won't have to wait and watch me draw. We can just talk as we are doing that. Let's do our other card that's a lot like this one. All 3 of these cards are very similar, and then one is totally different. Let's put our finger lift tape down. And you will find that because we use so little, one bottle of that best glue ever will hold you for 2 years probably. Wonderful. Brittany, do you know if, can you check and see if we have a package in that's got chipboard? It's due in, I thought would be here earlier, but it's due in today. And it will be it could be.
But not the Notions one that
No. It's going to be graphics, Graffix, chipboard. It'll be a small package probably, although it's 12 by 12 chipboard. So look for that. From Graphics. We'll find out. Mary, tell me how you learned that. Okay, now let's go ahead. We put our card face down. We need to just trim around it. The very best way to cover a card right here. It's just fast and easy and accurate. I recommend having nice long blade scissors. The less wax you take at it, the more likely you are to get nice straight lines.
she had said that dots and glue dots don't work, and then her question was, ask me how I know that. And her answer is, I was hard-headed. Yeah, Roberta, I do the same thing too. I've gone through and just on some of my leftover sticker paper, I take my best glue ever and make some dots and let them sit and dry before I start my process, if I'm using it for an actual glue dot, not just for ribbon.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Okay, it should be here shortly. We'll keep tabs on it. All right. We got our topper. We got our tape flags. We're gonna put it on. We're gonna line it up. We're gonna get it right where we want it. Then we use those little taped areas. Now, what happens if I get it down this far and I think, oh, it's not quite as straight as I wanted? Because there's so little tape sticking there, you can just pop it right back off and try again. So we'll line this all up, get it right where we want it. Let that tape help us hold it. Hold it with one hand, pull the tape with the other. Perfectly centered cards. Okay, so we have this on. We have our layered paper on. Let's get our next topper, which will be here on the bottom. Take this nice big one out. Now, we know that any of these that we're using could be used as shaker cards simply by putting acetate in this higher frame and then using some of our shaker tape to separate the layers and seal the card good with our components inside. We're going to, this one's going to take up most of our card. See that? It's going to take most of our card. So let's go ahead. This time, I'm going to do this with I'm going to put my foam squares. I kind of want this one to look like a window. Now, if you want to, here's another fun thing. If you're making it look like a window, think about using a piece of acetate. Now, I do not have acetate in your kit, but a lot of you have acetate that you accumulated over time. Think about taking a piece of your acetate before you put your foam squares down, of course, taping it onto this, cutting around it, and create a snowy window to go over your scene. That's actually kind of fun. I did not include acetate in your kit. I just wanted to tell you that's a really quick and easy way to step it up one more step. Okay. We're going to put a few foam squares on here. We have these foam squares in all different sizes. I gotta say, I've become really, really spoiled, and I now like the 1/2-inch ones. But they go further when we give you the 1/4 inch. When you're buying them for yourself outside of the class kits, I really recommend trying to use the 1/2-inch ones, because once you try them, you too will be hooked. It's so fast to remove all your little papers off the back, and that's fun. So just a thought. I probably will continue putting the 1/2-inch ones in as long as we are doing kits that require quite a few glue or foam squares, because it helps me hold your cost of the kits down, and I'm always conscientious of trying to control costs for you, but it is really fun to have the to have the 1/2-inch ones available. This time I'm going to put a little line of my glue just inside this frame. I've discovered that putting it inside the card instead of on the back of here keeps me from smearing glue on my frame when I go to put it in. And that saves me some time because I'm not doing cleanup. Of course, this is adorable scoreable, and you can kind of wipe it off with a baby wipe, but why have to do that if you can just control the glue to begin with? Okay, we have 2 things left to do here. we're going to put a tag on it. And for this one, I'm using this Have a Magical Christmas Time right out of the middle of the sheet. And I'm kind of setting it off to the side like that. In fact, I can go ahead, put a little glue or a little tape on this one now. Since I'm not using this as a punch-out tag, I actually put a little glue right over the top of where the die cut is for the hole in the tag. So I keep the pattern all together. And I'm going to tie a bow to go on there. Let's tie a couple bows here real quickly, because we need to get the glue drying on these. You have enough glue of this or enough of this crepe ribbon left to probably tie a nice double bow. We won't be using that anymore today. Okay, I always overguess the ribbon. It's just something I do. We're gonna tie, I think we'll tie a 4-5-4 again. 4-5-4 just means I'm going to the number 4, then I'm going to the number 4. I'm not going to do it slow this time because you just already saw me do it once. So I'm going to do a number 5, a number 5. You'll notice I'm not real careful about how I'm putting it on there other than hitting the right numbers. I don't care if it's even and pretty or not, as long as I'm on the right numbers. I go down through the hole in my comb. I'll come back up the other way. And then I'm going to come through from the other side at 0, 0. This is double face satin, so I don't have to worry about which side's up when I go to pull it tight. I can just tie it and be done with it. And we have, once again, a very, very pretty bow tied just that fast.
Oh, that's right.
There we go. So I'm going to clip this off. I'm going to tie a second one. I don't need to leave a long tail because I'm going to be clipping these tails fairly short anyway. I'm going to 4, and I'm going to 4, 5, and 5. I'm picking up just that one tine on the comb. 4 and 4, 4. So I do 4, 4, 5, 5, 4, 4.
4, 4, 5, 5.
4, 4. And then go down through the hole, come back up to this side through the 0, 0, right between the two ones. I'm going to tie this off. If you need some help with the bows, I can help you when we're done, Susan. Okay, and clip. I got this much left, easily enough to tie an extra bow, because that's what happens when you let me make kits. Okay, all right. Now I want to have pretty little tails on my bow, so I'm going to fold this ribbon in half, form a little taco. It'll be folded at the bottom, loose on the tops. I'm going to trim upward at an angle towards the end of my ribbon, and I get a perfect little wedge cut out of there. A little whale tail. Some people call it a mermaid's tail. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And there we go. I can put a little best glue ever on here. Let this start cooking. So it will be drying while we're working on our cards, and we'll put these on at the same time when we're done. So we'll probably do a couple cards and then come back. Oops, there we go. My glue was being stubborn. I'm putting it on real light because I want it to dry sometime today. It does dry slowly, so it's always good to kind of pre-plan and get your bows drying. The only way I know of to remove the best glue ever, well, Roberta, is to use the best glue ever remover.
She did speak of that.
Oh, did she? Yep, we have that too. This cleans up. It's a really oily substance that cleans up the best glue ever and other adhesives and just removes the sticky. Whoops. Did I slide it? Sometimes with this satin, I'm sure you guys have experienced that too. Sometimes with the satin, when you go to tighten up the center of your bow, it slides on you. There's a couple ways around that. One is hold your loops really tight on one side, then hold the other side. But Margie came up with a trick for that too. And that was that before she ties her knot in it, she puts a little piece of tape in there. And if I'm not using my bows right away, I use the Margie technique. If I'm going to use them immediately, I don't always do that, but it really does help hold your bow together so it's not sliding as badly. So it's a neat little trick Margie came up with.
Out of necessity.
Okay, so I've got little lines of glue there. I'm going to set those aside and let them dry. Set them somewhere I'm not throwing my materials on top of them, which happens about 90% of the time. I should be done with this for now. All right, so this one's done except for the bow. We're just going to leave that set aside until the bow is dry. Let's go to card number 3. Now for card number 3, I could use, if I wanted to, I could use one of these other pieces we cut. It's fine to do that too.
Yay. My third attempt. Look.
There it is. It's
Woohoo.
beautiful. Sue just tied she is a little out of practice with her bow making, and she just tied a perfect bow. It looks beautiful. Hi, Muriel. Good to see you, friend. Okay. Put her tape down. I think actually, if you guys don't care if I change it up a little, I'm going to use one of these card pieces I cut. That will give me a larger scrap from my blue. So I'm just going to do that. I'm just going to use one of these ones here instead of the dark blue on this one. Is that okay with you guys? I think it'll look pretty. Let's do that, huh?
Roberta has a comment.
Debbie was going through way too much peanut butter. Yeah, peanut butter, because it's oily, actually, and baby oil, but it's, yeah, all of those things will work somewhat. This stuff works better. It's pretty cheap. You won't use an awful lot of it. One bottle will go a real long ways, and yeah.
It doesn't go bad.
It doesn't go bad. No, I've had that same bottle. I'll bet I've had this bottle for 3 or 4 years.
But you can't dip your celery in it.
Oh, no, but you cannot. That is true, Susan. I do not recommend dipping your celery in this. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
Oops, almost put the wrong card on there. Let's put our Silver Mary on.
Okay, which sentiment goes on this one?
We used it says, have a magical Christmas time. It's got a snowflake at the top.
Okay, look like a deal arch. Where does it go? Oh, okay, thank you. Sorry about that. Just got a bit behind with the bows.
Okay, here we go. We're going to trim around here, cover this card really quick. We'll be done. I'd say goodbye to Ashley, but she was through just that quick. One door open, the other door open. Hey, do you guys notice my shop door doesn't squeak anymore? Now you can't tell when people are coming and going, can you? Huh? Yeah, we fixed that problem. We got ourselves some WD-40 and the door doesn't squeak anymore.
I've heard that the best glue ever cleaner might be good for that too.
I don't know that I'm going to try it. It probably would. It's an oil-based product. Correct. It probably would. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's what time is it here now, Margie?
For us, it is 4:51.
4:51. So we are going to finish about 3 cards in an hour here. And we will have just our big card left to go. centering my cardstock, pulling my tape, nicely centered piece. All right, let's pull our next one off. This time we're going to use this other arch. Now this one has 3 pieces, so we're going to use the same technique we used on the first card. Higher, then flush, and then higher again. So we'll peel apart our 3 sections. It's fairly easy to do because Hunkydory has generally very good die cutting. They are really known for the quality of their die cutting and the quality of their foiling. That's kind of Hunkydory's claim to fame. Undo will work also to an extent. Because this is formulated specifically to go with the best glue ever, it will, I think it's the best, but Undo should cut it pretty well too. Okay, Undo is another cleaning product that will help take the sticky off. Goo Gone, same thing.
Sounds like a foreign language.
DH swears Undo is lighter fluid. I don't think so. I like dear hubby though. He's full of all kinds of wisdom. I like him. All right. Okay, put my little foam squares on, popping them off. I know. I could do this in a video and just race the video forward doing all these little foam squares and stuff, but then we wouldn't have a nice chance to chat.
Like those
And
cooking people, they
what
say.
would life be like?
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Yes.
After
Yes, at least they don't say. At least they don't say. What is it, Margie? I was watching a show this week and they said that, by the way.
Through the magic of television.
I told Margie that's the one thing she can never say during a video. She is not allowed to say through the magic of television.
I seem to work it in though whenever I do the video.
Just because she knows those are words that just irk me.
And I laugh, and then she laughs, and then she's not hurt.
No, you make me laugh, it's all over with. I never stay mad when I'm laughing. Okay. They just overused that. It's like the Popeil people used that over and over and over again for years. So, in fact, they used so many of the same phrases over and over and over again that you could come close to quoting their dialogue before they even said it. How do I know? I watched way too many of those late night infomercials. He did come up with some pretty clever devices, though, I gotta say. The Popeil people, didn't they? They came up with some really clever stuff. I was watching Jeopardy the other night, and they were talking about Vegematic and some of the Popeil devices that they came up with in the day. You remember those guys, all those? Oh, you know, Kathy girl, you are absolutely right. We have not done the blindfolded challenge yet. Set it and forget it. Yep, you are right, Mary R. Set it and forget it. That was a Popeil.
What was the one that used to saw through a pair of old shoes?
I don't know.
Is that an English one?
That might have been an English one. Susan was telling me there was one on English television where they would saw through a pair of shoes. Our camera got all fuzzy all of a sudden. Is that our internet or? Oh, the pocket fisherman. Oh, yes. And the dehydrator. Yeah.
Let me take a look to You have to go into
He's a real
different YouTube
trooper.
video.
Great help. One of us gets stuck. You two are a great team. And I'll bet most of the people agree. Thank you, Marilyn. That's so nice. Yeah, my.
Yeah, we went fuzzy. But
Oh, it's
cleared
back
up.
now. Yep. Oh, clap on, clap off. Yep. The clapper.
I think the reason for the fuzziness
Doesn't
is
sound very nice.
No, it
because-
doesn't. But that's what the product was called, the clapper.
Yeah.
Clap on, clap off. The
I'm with
clapper.
you, Susan. I think the reason why it's fuzzy is that we've had some slow Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Brittany had said so.
Huh. We're supposed to have this
I think
burning
it's
fast Wi-Fi
Margie's
here.
been drinking.
Yeah, maybe.
Can you hear Susan back here? She's giving Margie a hard time. Oh, the button ear. I think he did do the button ear. I'm not sure. That's a good one, though. Another good one. Okay, just like before, we're going to put a little glue on this tag and we're going to hang it at the top and just off to the side so we can hang our bow there and make it look as if the bow is tying this on. Why would we want to work that hard when we can put a little glue on it? Slap it on there. Put the bow over the top. That's my thinking. So we're going to let those bows continue to dry a minute. And then we'll come back and we'll put those bows on and look at our finished cards. This is where we are with this one right now. Okay? All right. Let's see. We talked about the most interesting things in this class. We truly do. All right. Now, this one worked out really neat, guys. Really, really neat. I'll show you what we're going to do. It was hard for me. They don't make a DL that is a gatefold card. I would have loved to have kept all of this, but I had to cut off the top of the scene right here about the church because they just don't make one that tall. But let me show you how neat it is the way this goes on here. I'm going to go ahead. I've got my 6x6 gatefold card. If you have to make one yourself, cut a piece of paper that's 6x12, score it at 3, and fold that, and then take your other side and match it up to that. Don't score it ahead. Match it up to that, right up to the gatefold, and then crease it. And you'll get a perfectly matching gatefold if you have to make it yourself. We already have these made, so why would I do that? But I can. I just choose not to. All right. I'm going to do something that is going to make covering this gatefold really easy. I'm going to do it just like I cover my card blanks. I'm going to put down my 3 pieces of tape. One of the things that makes this finger lift tape unique is that the tape in here is, there's 1/8 of an inch on either side of the tape where there is no tape. It's open, it's just the paper. So one of the things that makes finger lift tape special is that you can reach underneath this tape and you don't have to pick at it like you have to pick at the side to side tape. You can just reach in there and grab it and pull it off. Now, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to line up my card.
Have you pulled it off?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going to line up my card using my fold line and the bottom of my card. I actually find it easier to do it when the card is folded. I was kind of trying to do it flat, but that just doesn't work as well. I'm going to line it up using the bottom of my card and my fold line. And then I'm going to do the same thing I do when I'm covering my card. I'm just going to trim around it.
Mario wants to know how many of us have the bedazzler.
Oh, I still have one. I still have one. Yep.
I think think I still have one.
I don't remember exactly where mine is, but I'm certain I have one. Yep, those tools were made to last. I'm telling you, they made the first air fryer too. And how many of us don't? Most of us probably have an air fryer these days. Popio made the first one.
My dad, when I was little, my mom wanted to dehydrate fruit. And so my dad, being an electrical engineer, couldn't drive a nail straight or anything else back then, but man, he took his time and he made it beautiful, and he made her a food dryer.
Wow.
It was 3 feet tall and about 2 feet wide, and it sat out on our porch.
Wow.
But
Cool.
it would dehydrate all the fruit that she would buy over the summer, and we would have fresh dehydrated fruit.
Cool. All right, I'm putting my 3 pieces of tape on the other side. All right, and here we go.
I'm all right, don't panic.
All right, now we're on the other side. And I'm going to hold this flap in place. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to match up once again I started to do it as if I was cutting a continual picture. I'm not. So I'm going to come in here, I'm going to match it to the bottom and the fold line again. Get a nice straight along the fold line. And now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut it off again. They made these perfectly wide enough to do a 6x6 gatefold with this card. I don't know if they planned it that way or it just worked out that way, but it was nifty because look here.
Yay me.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
And it's so easy. Isn't that easy?
Mm.
It's very easy to do that way. Now,
Squeezy.
we are going to do our little sneaky thing here. I want you to get your topper. This time we're going to use this one that's got the wider ring. Now, I don't often do this. You guys know I have a thing about making sure that my pieces don't get all bent up, so I don't usually hang a lot of things over unless they're supported. But this one has an unusually wide ring on it. See that? That's an unusually wide ring. So what I did here was to determine where my topper is going to go. I want this to be centered between the two. I'm going to make a little mark on my card, just a tiny one.
Not
Tiny
Sharpie,
little-
not Sharpie.
Tiny little mark on my card where I want my frame to come to. And once I know where my frame is going to go to, then I'm going to make a little tiny mark on the other side where I want my topper to go to. I'm going to put my topper on here. Actually, I'm going to put my frame down first, and then I'll put my topper in. I'm going to put my frame on, and I'm going to just come right to the point that I cover that little mark. I'm going to put some glue on it, and I'm going to put it right down to my card. But I'm only going to glue half of this. I'm only going to put glue on half of this ring. This ring is not directional, so I need to make sure that my glue matches up, and I'm just barely going to cover my little pen line there. I'm going to make sure I don't have any glue showing on the back. I'm going to press that ring in place. I'm going to make sure that it's going to give me just the right amount of overlap, because this is the point to slide it if you're going to slide it, guys. Now, what I can do is, I didn't really need the pen line on this side. I can put down my glue right where my topper's going to go. See that? And I can put my topper over the top there. My topper's going to go through my ring. And while it's still wet, I'm going to position this and make sure I've got perfect positioning. I'll open that back up and remove any excess glue. If there's any extra glue there, did you see that? This fits right through the ring. It seals down nicely because it's a perfect fit, and it becomes a closure for my card. See how easy that is?
No. Sorry.
Glue down your ring halfway on one side.
Unpeeling.
And then you want to glue in where your center topper is going to go. Put that in, and while it's still wet and kind of repositionable, make sure it's well lined up inside your circle.
Oh, the glue inside here.
And there you go. Isn't that cute? There we go. Now it's time for Stickles.
Hang on.
Because Stickles is going to make this oh so beautiful. And remember what I said about wanting to use this piece instead of this blue? Look at this beautiful blue piece we have. We actually have a half a sheet of that mottled dark blue. Isn't that beautiful? We can save that and use that in some of our other crafting and craftiganza or otherwise. But we've got 3 beautiful pieces of layering paper left. Now it's time for bling. Let me look and see how my bows are doing here. This one looks great. Let's put it on a card. On these cards, I want my bow to be just at a little bit of an angle. Just a little bit, just to be kind of artsy. There we go. We're going to take this bow, which is also dry because we only made it really light. I'm going to put this bow here, and I notice now that I did not cut my whale tails, so I'm going to cut my whale tails here. I'll fold it in half, and I'll clip upward at an angle towards the end of my ribbon. And I'll clip upward at an angle and out towards the end of my ribbon. Then we have our bows on those. Now it's time to Stickles. Alrighty. I'm going to use, I have lots of choices. Let's see some of our choices we could use. I love Twinkle for outdoor scenes. It's one that's got a decidedly blue cast to it. Let me see if I can show you the bottle one. If I can get you a clear picture. It's got a decidedly blue cast to it. If I want to be a little bit more dramatic, I can use Diamonds. Diamonds has a golden, yellow, and pink cast to it. I use this for virtually all of my indoor scenes. I could use Stardust is another one of my absolute favorites, and this is kind of universal. If you can't afford to buy multiple Stickles, Stardust might just be your one because you can use this indoors and outdoors. I'm going to use Stardust on this one, then we can kind of compare the Twinkle and the Stardust, but I'm going to use Stardust on this one. Would I love the unicorn. That fit would that fit a center step? Would that center fit a center step card? Yes, it would. Oh, the unicorn Stickles. I thought unicorn. What unicorn? I don't have a unicorn up here, Betty, but I'm glad to hear that's a good one. We have it in the store. Okay, so I'm going to draw a little bit here. The thing I care the most about glittering is this tree in the center of my scene. I'm using the one with the larger tree now. And I'm kind of going over everywhere there's white in the branches, but I'm going really.
She needs a bottle of Stickles.
Oh, I see.
Sorry.
I found them.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
hidden in there.
I'm using a really light stroke though. I can always add more, but you don't want it glommed on here. If you glom it on, then it doesn't look as good. So use a really light hand. One way you can do that is to move the bottle quickly. But look at that tree once we put the Stickles on it. Isn't that amazing, the transformation? In addition to the tree, I'm going to put a little bit in some of my snowy lines. So I'm going to put a little bit on the roofs of the houses behind. This light, I can't quite see. There we go. I'm going to put a little bit around the houses. I have the edge of the pond there. I'm going to put a little bit there. And I'm going to put a little bit where the ice is kind of disrupted at the base of this tree around the skaters. And I think that's good. I'm going to stop there. But it's just going to give me a really pretty, twinkly, bright. There we go. That one's done. Let's get the next one. Go light-handed, Susan. That's your goal. Go really light-handed.
They look beautiful.
Excellent. All right. Next up, I wasn't sure you heard me say that. So. Okay. This time I have the little tree, and I have the cathedral in the background, and I have the kind of snow scene ahead of that. I'm going to put a little bit out there in that snow scene. I'm going to put a little bit around the white edge of the pond, just because that'll look pretty and kind of encase my card. I'm going to do my tree, and I'm going to go real light-handed. I can always add more. Where I can't see the specific snowfall on certain leaves, I'm just kind of using a light back and forth motion. You can do it really fast. Actually, doing it fast has some advantages because you want to be really light-handed, and the more concentrated it is, the more likely it is it's going to get too heavy. So going really quickly actually can help you. There we go.
Oh, that looks beautiful. Look.
Gorgeous. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
I love the way these look when they're done. They're just fabulous. Okay, we got two more to do. We've got our first card we did. We've got our little ice skaters on the rink. We've got our ice skater pulling the sled. That's cute. I'm going to do my tree. And I'm going to kind of cover most of whiter areas of the tree. Once again, just really quickly and with a light hand. I'm going to, where I see the predominant blue lines, I might use a little bit more. And I'm going to use a little bit more right here around my kids. Going really light. I can always put on more, but it's hard to take it. Well, it's not really hard to take it off. If you find that you really mess up when you're using your Stickles and you really don't like it, we're working, this time at least, we're working on Adorable Scoreable. And remember, it's got that plastic coating on the cardstock. You can actually take a baby wipe and wipe it off while it's wet, and you can reapply. Just make sure you wipe it off, then dry it off. That one's done. Now let's do our big one, and we get to do lots of stickles on this one. Woohoo!
Woohoo.
Okay,
Time.
I'm going to start at the top of my card and work my way down because I don't want to get my hands in it. And I'm just going to kind of go over my snowy areas a little bit. I've got the rooftops up there. I've got this kind of snowy area in front of them. The houses and the roofs aren't really distinctive, so it's just kind of getting it on there in a general area. Hi, Dennis.
Oh, okay.
And
You want to
we're going to.
He's talking to you.
Okay.
Do you want a chair?
All right. I'm going to just color this on a little bit. All right. Say hi to Dennis. Dennis is Susan's husband.
Say hi. We'll hear that.
He's soft-spoken, but he gave you a hi. Okay. Now I'm going to come over here. I'm going to do the other side, being careful not to lay my closure down into my work. And I'm just kind of drawing on a little stickles here, guys. I just want it to get shiny. I do have a nice big tree on this side, so I'll go over my white areas on the tree. And I'm going to kind of go over some of the blue areas of the ice a little bit. Just kind of going back and forth in those areas a little bit, just to kind of add some sparkle around their feet. And that's what I have. How's that looking? Oh, I forgot to do my little topper in the middle. I will do my little topper in the middle too. Probably would have been better to do this maybe before I assembled them, but don't worry. Okay. Roberta wants you to look into it because one of her orders wasn't in the box. I forwarded it to Ashley, and so I'm sure Ashley's probably already working on it, but you might text Ashley and ask her if she saw Roberta's email, if you would, please. Okay, I'll put a little around the sled there. Okay, guys, that's it. We're done. We'll look at the dry ones because it's easier to handle those without getting my fingers in the wet stickles, because stickles does take a while to dry. But let's take a look at these when they're dry. Here's the one we just did. Now, if you have your inserts available, go ahead and insert this. Just cut a piece of your insert paper that's slightly smaller than 6 by 6 wide. You'll do 5, maybe 5 7/8 wide by 6. Fit it right inside there, and it's just beautiful. It's just a real compliment to get the insert paper in the center. And here's our beautiful skaters, and I do think this is really fun to have that nifty closure on there. It looks like this was a hard card to do, but it wasn't hard at all, was it?
No, I kept up quite well.
And here's our other little cards. We've got them nice and glimmery. They don't look overdone. They just look sparkly and beautiful. Remember, you could take that snowfall acetate and just glue it to the back of this piece.
Let Teddy.
Okay.
Oh no.
He can actually come in. We'll do a quick Teddy cam. If you want to pick him up, Margie, you let him in. And here's this one. Teddy's banished from the shop for right now because he keeps being a bad boy and lifting leg on my boxes in here, and that is not okay. So all day he's been trying to convince us he needs to be in the shop, but he got banished last night. Come here and say hi to everybody.
He's got the wiggles.
Come here and say hi to everybody. Can you sit? Can you sit down? Can you lay down so people can see you? Let's lay down. Let's lay down so people can see us. Hi.
How about if I just trade over? the
Yeah,
chair?
Margie's gonna show Teddy Cam. There he is. There he is. Hi. Yeah, you trying to make up to me, aren't you? Yes. He said, Mama, I won't be on your stuff anymore. Let me back in.
Oh,
Let me back in. Where did his teddy treats go? There they are.
Sorry.
This is something we got to keep right at hand. Can you sit? Oh, I know you love these. Did you know your friend Mary R sent you these? Yes, she
she
did.
says that
We're still using these.
she's
Said
Mary R
please.
just said, sorry, you were in the doghouse, Teddy.
Yeah, I don't know what this thing is that he's doing all of a sudden. We had him, I thought, all housebroken, doing a good job, and he is housebroken the house. He just comes out here, and when I'm working late at night and I don't see what he's doing, he comes in here and then he misbehaves. So he's banished for now. There he is. But you are giving him a nice view of your furry face, and you're gonna have to have a haircut soon and get those eyes showing again. He said, "Oh, I got to go see my Susan." Okay, I guess that's it. He's gonna go see his Susan. He can't stand it. I gotta go see her. He just dove out of my arms into Susan's arms. So, would you like to see some previews of coming attractions? I showed you these last night. Let me show you again. Can I see the Poinsettia Cards, Margie? I think we have some dates for some of these now. Maybe you can tell us the dates of some of these as we go through them, Brittany, huh? As you have the calendar. When's Poinsettia's coming up?
It's going to be on November 6th. I'm going to make it tomorrow.
The kit will be made tomorrow, and the class is going to be November 6th. So 2 weeks out. And this is the Poinsettia class. We're combining Hardycraft toppers and the Poinsettia 8x8 paper pad from Hunkydory. We're giving you 1/4 of a pad so that we can hold your costs down. Not only do you get the Hardycraft toppers, all of the card bases to make all of these cards, and the mirror board, you are also getting a $17 die included in your kit. The die is going to cut these pieces. After we boot Ted out, Margie, would you mind switching to the other camera so I can show these cards better?
I sure will. Give
Thank
me
you.
just a second.
She's escorting Ted back to the house. We'll get a better view of these cards here in a second. November, they're asking again the date.
November 6th.
This is going to be on the 6th. On the 6th.
Saturday.
Saturday the 6th. We're going to do this as a Saturday class because together we're going to make 10 cards. Yes, 10 cards.
Okay. Thank you.
And one day, and we can do it. So there we go. That's a much better view of them. This is the die that's being included. It's a single piece die, but it's this beautiful holly that we're going to cut up in pieces and embellish our card with. So the gold holly is the die you're getting included in the kit. The kit is 20. I have it on that sheet. I think it's 26.95, maybe 26, 25.
27.38.
Yeah.
28.95.
On the bottom.
28.95.
Oh, it's $28.95, but you're getting a $17 die included in the kit. So at $28, that's $278 per card with a $17 die included that you're keeping after the card. So there we go. There's the first one. Here's the next one. Wouldn't you just be proud to give that to anybody? That is beautiful. Hardycraft did a beautiful job with these toppers, and you really, it's hard to even know that these papers were not manufactured by the same company. The backgrounds and the toppers are two different companies. Isn't that something? 3. This kit wasn't up yet, Roberta, so you didn't get this kit yet. Brittany hopes to make it tomorrow. If your order hasn't shipped yet, in that we can add it, but if it's shipped, it probably already went to the post office, so we'll have to check that out
And
for you.
I'm looking it up right now, and they were talking about the swan cards, and so she asked Roberta asked Mary R if she had made the swan card, and Mary R said, "Did you win that one?" And she said, "Yes."
Oh, okay. I love
Say
the way
hi to
this looks like a
Diane.
feather coming up here. Hi, Diane. We're just looking at our previews of coming attractions. Here we go. Isn't that beautiful with that lamp? I love this kit. It's beautiful. Okay, here. Look at the way we combined the snowman and the flowers. I thought that was cute. We got the log and the poinsettias. I kind of like the log and the poinsettias with this kind of a more masculine plaid. It made me happy. What can I say? It made me happy. I love this one. This one, I don't know if you can see the detail, but this has a little cinnamon stick sticking out of it. And then the letters there and the poinsettia. I thought that was beautiful.
Annette, your order has shipped.
We're too efficient for our own good sometimes, Annette. And then the little squirrel. So all these little gold filigrees, that's all coming from your die. So this is the 10 cards we're going to make in class. But you guys know me. There were 12 sheets of paper in the kit. And I thought, well, I should just make up an inspiration card or two using the extra papers that we had left over. So I said 1 or 2 cards. Here's the 10 cards I made out of the leftover papers. You will not have everything included in your kit to make the extra 10, but I will go through them again and discuss the how-tos, and we'll look at each one and talk about them. But these are all out of the extra papers in your kits. Note the extra stickles. The stickles just make these papers. It's amazing what happens when you add the stickles. This is Twinkle. The stickles I used is Twinkles. And I just outlined select flowers in the patterns. Very, very simple supplies on these. You'll see it. 10 from the leftovers. Very simple supplies.
Ashley answered the question, Roberta. She says that she has pulled it and that she is getting ready to send it out tomorrow.
This is number 4 of our extras. So with some simple ribbon, some stickles, some card bases and mirror board, a few stickers, all things you probably have on hand. 10 more cards. These are not included in your kit, but the papers are. Is the gingham paper kit going to get up this week? Mary R's asking. Brittany just grabbed it. I'd say the answer is yes because it looks like she's putting it up right this minute.
She's going to do it tomorrow morning.
So
She loves
shortly.
Mary R.
Brittany takes good care of us. Look at this one. Oh my gosh. Can you believe that? This is out of your extras. And who wouldn't be just proud to give that?
And that when this kit comes up for sale, what you can always do is ask for her to hold on to it to ship it out with your next order.
Yeah, I think Brittany said she's making this kit tomorrow. Yeah. Do we know yet how many of them there will be? Can you look?
Sure.
Thank you. I distracted her from listing your kit, Mary R, because I want to know how many of these we're going to have. I just want to tell you how fast you guys have to get on this Poinsettia Kit, because I think I have quite a few, but I'm not certain of that. So I want to make sure that you guys who are regulars are ready to grab them. Do we? Okay, good. Okay. There should be plenty to go around of this one for a while. So if you order it within the next week, you should be okay. But I just wanted to know if it was you better order it tomorrow, or, but it, based on what Brittany just said, it sounds like we should be good for a week. Okay. So that's 10 extra inspiration cards just to use up the leftover materials. So, oh my gosh. All right. So this is the Poinsettia Kit. These are the ones that we're going to make out of the kit. And these are the ones that you can make on your own using the extra materials. Wowzer. Okay, so I will give this back. Let's see. Let's look at another one, guys. I do have Autumn right here. Why don't you see Autumn too? Autumn's beautiful. What's the date of Autumn? The 30th of this month is going to be the Autumn Kit. These will make beautiful, beautiful Thanksgiving cards. Really spectacular Thanksgiving cards. Okay, this is using the topper set falling leaves. On this one, I stickled the butterflies. I love the way this looks with the satin ribbon just run under our topper. Isn't that pretty? And I love this background paper. Do you sell just the ribbon for the extra cards? You know what? The answer is going to be, I'm going to say yes, we do. We have to list it, but the double-sided satin ribbon that I've been putting in the kits, we're going to start listing that by the yard. And yes, we are going to have all these beautiful double-sided satin ribbons that I've been including in the kits. We're going to be selling them by the yard soon. In fact, that's the project Margie has been working on for the last couple days, is putting all these ribbon reels up on the walls so that she can quickly, she and I and Brittany and Ashley can all quickly pull ribbon, both for the kits and for the ability to be able to buy ribbon by the yard. Because I've had several requests for the same ribbons we put in the kits, and that's going to be great. Look at this one, guys. Here's another fabulous way to use those little tiny toppers. Look at this triple stepper card. Is that cute or what? I love this one. And this one. And the date again on this is the 30th of this month. Right? No? What's the date on this one again?
I'm sorry, which one?
The autumn is the 30th of October?
Yes.
Okay. So that's next Thursday?
No, next Saturday. Not in 2 days Saturday, the following Saturday.
The following Saturday, a week from Saturday.
Yes.
Okay. So we've got that one coming up a week from Saturday. What's coming up this Saturday?
The jar full of love, which is the fox.
This one is this Saturday. Whoops. Darn it. Dropping my cards all over. This is a jar full of love. We're going to make this really cute little, just charming gift bag with a tag, a matching tag, if I can turn it around right. Really cute little gift bag for Saturday. Out of the jar full of love, we have this ever so personable little fox. Is that the 23rd?
Yes.
Okay, so this is the 23rd. And then what's next Thursday?
It is the Winter Sparkle, which is the bauble.
Oh, can I see that kit, please? Do we have that kit? Oh, I have that kit. I have that kit. I'll show you that next. Yes, I'm hoping they're only held up by Mr. Bryce's schedule at this point. The videos, 2 of the videos are done. 2 of the videos are filming tonight. And then the only thing we need is for Bryce to get them edited and put up on the website. All the cards are done. All the videos will be done tonight. And I will start gently prodding Bryce every 10 minutes till they get posted on the website. Or until he shows Margie how to do it. Okay. Next Thursday. Oh, I love this kit. I just can't help myself with this one. This is done using the Stardust. I believe I used Stardust on this. This is next Thursday's kit. And I know I have a very messy table at this point. Let me move some of this so you can focus on what I'm talking about.
There are so many goodies.
I have so many card classes coming up for you guys. You will not believe it. Okay, I'm going to give these back to you, Margie, to put over there if you don't mind. Oh, or just to set over there so Brittany can get that kit made. Okay, this is next Thursday. Woohoo! Looky here. We are going to get several wonderful cards from this. Look at this. This is next Thursday. I love the way this worked out with the foil paper underneath and the way that pattern continues down. Isn't that beautiful? The Stickles really does just bring these beautiful baubles out. We'll get 5, looks like 5 cards from this one topper set. This is next Thursday. I love the way this foiling plays with these cards. Just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, so that's our next 2 weeks worth of classes, and we have so much more. I got to show them the other Hardy Crafts, if you don't mind. I just want to show that one more time. It's not coming up for a while, but I love, love, love this one. I showed it to you last night, but I got to show it to you again because they're spectacular. And I believe this is going to be a pretty reasonable kit, because I didn't do a lot of extras with it. I used some pine background. I used the little Merry Christmas stickers, and I used Mary and a bow on each card. But I just let these ornaments speak for themselves because Hardycraft did such a good job. Just such a good job with these. Yeah, the foil paper by High Gloss is lightweight paper, Mary. It's not, or Roberta, it's not Mary. They do have Mary, but I think the Mary that we're getting is much higher quality. The pine is pine bough paper by Hot Off the Press. It's some that I had here. Aren't these just spectacular? Look at the detail in those ornaments. They're just amazing. Just amazing. And the pine boughs, I think, worked out just perfectly with these ornaments. I tried to cut them so that it looked like the boughs were hanging down like they would in a Christmas tree. Really, really beautiful. This set is just stunning. And it just didn't, I just felt like to put too much on these cards and hide the elegance of these ornaments would be an injustice somehow. Oh, okay, lightweight foil paper. That's just, it's very lightweight foil. I used to carry it. In fact, I may still have a little bit of it. Ruth Ann, did you, wasn't it Ruth Ann? Was it Ruth Ann or Kim? Excuse me, guys. I don't know if it was Ruth Ann or Kim that was looking for foiled paper. If you didn't find that, contact me and I will help you find that. Okay. I love this one. I don't know why. It's just this one. I just really liked. Of course, I like the deer too.
Kitties are always such a nice winter thing.
And finally, this one. What's the date of this class, Brittany? December. It's in November.
November 27th. Nope, I'm sorry. November 20th.
November 20th is this class. This will be one of our last Christmas classes for the year. Okay, does anybody have any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom? Please do hit that like button. We've been a little skimpy on our likes for the last couple videos, guys. So hit that like button if you would, please. If you're not sure if you hit it once or twice, hover over it and it will tell you whether or not it's already lit. If it's not, if you haven't hit it yet, it will. If you've already hit it, it'll say, do you want to unlike it? You don't want to unlike it. Okay. Yeah, so make sure you hit that like button if you would, please. All righty, you're going to schedule the blindfold class. Yes, we will. Kathy Girl, I've been withholding that from you, not on purpose. We just got distracted and forgot. We're going to have to get it in here.
We
so
did our party, and then we went directly into making all that craftaganza.
Yes.
And so
I just forgot. But we will maybe next Thursday. I know we keep saying this, but next Thursday's the baubles. I can definitely do that in the same class.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how about we like make ourselves a sign so that we can remember it, like up here in the corner.
Yeah. Next Thursday. We're going to do it next Thursday, Kathy. I know I said that once before, but we forgot before. We'll try again. We'll do our blindfold card challenge. We'll have Brittany here to moderate. She's over there grinning.
And remind us. Remind me Thursday when I get here.
Okay. All right. Thank you for the reminder, Kathy Grow. We weren't withholding on purpose. We just forgot, but we'll get it done. We'll get it done because we can't let a challenge just stay out there. We have to answer that challenge. Any other questions? Anybody? Any questions, comments, or pearls of wisdom before we head out for the day? So Saturday, we're doing what again? We're doing the
Jar full of love.
Jar full of love. We'll be doing the jar full of love in the gift bag. That fun little shaker card with the snow globe with the fox in it. And we'll be doing that gift bag. It's going to be great fun. So don't miss that. And if there are no other questions, I think I'm going to say good night, Gracie. You guys be safe out there. Take it easy. And we will see you on Saturday. Bye bye.